I think I knew mysizerox was a movement and really becoming a thing with a lot of legs when I hashtagged it one day and I looked on my Instagram and I'm like 200 women had also hashtagged it that week. Every photo I looked at that they'd hashtagged was them talking about how they felt confident in their body because of things I was doing or messages I was saying. Women began to use mysizerox as a hashtag, but they were talking about how they were empowered, and then other women were following them and they were almost like the mysizerox ambassadors. It was very cool. That's when I knew I had a real thing on my hands. Oh my gosh, the hate on the internet is very loud. So you have to do a lot to stay sane and to protect yourself from being vulnerable to these crazy voices. And I do that by looking to all the incredible women where there's support. For all the hate people talk about on the internet, I promise you, it's 1% of my world. 99% of it are these amazing, incredible women in my community, of the mysizerox community, who are supportive, encouraging, and I promise you they are the first to attack the haters. And I know that if I'm raw and I'm vulnerable with my thoughts and I share them, that women who might have felt alone in those thoughts now feel connected and now know that they might not be so crazy or so insecure because lots of other women feel those things. It makes another woman feel less alone. I think it's a journey, being confident in your skin mixed with a little bit of personality. I grew up with 3 older brothers, and honestly, you have to learn to have your own voice in a big family. I think confidence is just a series of all of these things every day and over time where you begin to feel very proud of your accomplishments, and that's how you kind of grow this confidence. I think the best place I look for inspiration from is my followers. So if I'm feeling like, okay, today I just can't handle the internet, I'm turning off Instagram and going home, I then read a story in my DMs about a woman who wore one of my dresses, and because of that, it was the first time she's gone on a date in 2 years because she finally felt confident in a beautiful dress. Or I hear from someone who wore one of my swimsuits and it's the first time she's bought a new swimsuit in years because she's never felt good in a swimsuit and she went to the beach for the first time. It's those stories that fuel everything I do. My #1 source of inspiration is my followers and the impact that I know I'm having on them. Every day I feel the desire to push this movement forward because it's the things that I'm facing myself, leading a life as a curvy woman in a world that apparently is not so accepting of curvy women. I always say that I love fashion and fashion hates me back, because I'll walk into many stores and I go to buy something and I'm feeling fabulous that day and then nothing fits me in that store. And so I think that's that feeling of knowing I still haven't fixed everything. And every time I open a magazine and I'm bombarded with images of a model who all looks the same, that's my reminder that I have more work to do. So that's what drives me to keep making change, is that feeling that I have of doubt when I walk out into the world every day and see that everyone or every image or every clothing store, every fashion line I like is for a woman that's not me. I'm really motivated by the desire to change the way women feel about themselves. I want women to wake up every day and by following me and by wearing my clothes or by participating in my world, feel better every day. That's my goal. That's what I'm after. That's what motivates me. You change one girl's life and then you're on to wanting to change millions. For me as a woman in business, I've spent a lot of time being somebody's wife. And people often assume my success is because I am with somebody successful. And I've really struggled with that because I've been successful for a long time And it's disheartening when everyone just assumes that my accomplishments are because of somebody else. So I take a lot of pride in the fact that I've done this on my own. I wasn't handed anything, and everything I've created on my own. And I'm really proud of that. I'm a woman in a business that often people consider flighty or fluffy. I'm in the fashion, entertainment, modeling. Those are things where you say you're in those businesses, you're immediately underestimated. And I would like to remind everyone the fashion business is a multi-billion-dollar business. So you better watch out. So Sheertex caught my attention literally the first second I heard of it. My friend Michelle, who's my favorite dragon ever, is friends with Catherine, the CEO. And she said, Roxy, I've got this amazing product. It's an indestructible pantyhose. I think I fell off my chair that moment. I was like, where was this product my entire 20s when I was working in the corporate world, where I would have to go every lunch downstairs to the underground. We call it the Path in Toronto. And I would have to buy new pantyhose because I'd ripped my pantyhose by lunch. Like, I think I spent all my disposable income on pantyhose. And so I just thought it didn't take any explanation. From the moment I heard about it, I was like, this is genius. And that's when we got in touch with each other and we all met. And then I loved that it was run by a woman. There was all these strong women in the company. The product was just as good as it was described. And yeah, I've been a super fan, I would say, of Sheertex. I love collaborating with brands that make women's lives easier and make them feel confident. It's one less thing a woman has to worry about. And then I only work with brands that are inclusive when it comes to sizing, because that's what mysizerox is all about. And Sheertex just delivered on all those fronts. If a woman doesn't have to spend her day worrying if her pantyhose are ripped, she can go out into the world and be more fierce and more fabulous because she's not worried about these silly little things that are holding her back, like, is my pantyhose ripping or falling down? You know, imagine standing in a meeting, your pantyhose are rolling down under your dress. Okay, I can imagine because it's happened to me 1,000 times. And I'm just a really great public speaker. So for me, I'm like, okay, my pantyhose are around my ankles in a minute, but I'm gonna continue giving this presentation. Well, most girls, that might derail their whole train of thought. And so that's why I just love this brand. It's just, it makes a woman have one less thing in her world she doesn't need to think about that's, I don't know, superficial. The All That Glitters line is a kind of pretty true expression of who I am. I love to glitter, I love sparkle, I love diamonds, and then I like to think of myself as a pretty indestructible woman. And so these are my two favorite things coming together. Something that you cannot break, just like me, my soul, my heart. Look, if you look at this, okay, look, I cannot rip these pantyhose. Look, I am tugging at them so hard. Well, that's how I feel about my whole life. I'm not breakable as a woman, and so it's cool that neither are my pantyhose now. And then, of course, it has to have the Roxy Earle sparkle. That's my signature glamour. I would wear these glitter shears to the grocery store, to the gym, to the gala, when I go to bed, to work out for sure. I mean, I always think you need to be fabulous, but maybe somebody else, how they might wear them. I think that they work really good with mini dresses and solids, and then a matching sparkle. So go sparkle and sparkle. This holiday season, I don't think a woman can like not sparkle enough. You can just sparkle as much as humanly possible and you look fabulous. But mini dresses for sure to show off those fabulous legs. We have the skin tones, which we have 3 different skin tones, and they all shimmer with gold. So it makes it look like your legs are shimmering gold. Well, when we were designing the collection, I knew control top was something I really wanted because I myself wear control garments and I wear all sorts of things under my dresses to hold me in because I just feel more confident that way, and I feel like my clothes look awesome when you don't see pantyhose line or panty lines or anything like that. So for me, the control top was a must, and I love that it's super seamless and it works. What I love about the Sheertex shears and the technology is that I just don't have to think about one more thing in my busy, incredible world. I'm a CEO of a big company, and I don't want to have to spend my day wondering if my pantyhose are going to rip. And no one else can do that for me but Sheertex. So pretty much in love situation from the moment I realized I couldn't rip them. They make me feel special and sparkly and glittery. And I love that a woman walks into the world with a little sparkle, because I think all women of all sizes deserve to sparkle this holiday season.